right, let's get the party started today. We're gonna give it about a few minutes and we'll get the party started. John, how are you? Oh man, I think you're on mute. There we
Good.
go. There we
Yeah,
go.
man.
I can
Doing
hear you.
good. Doing good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm back in town.
Oh, you was out of
And
town for a little bit?
yeah, last week I was actually in Fort Lauderdale. I went to Columbia for a week. Met a lot of agency owners. We when you hang out with
Full
agency owners,
building down
market.
there, you mean?
No. Fort Lauderdale was just like a meetup with other marketers, and
Oh,
same
okay.
in Columbia. Just we all kind of get together, strategize on how we want to grow our businesses, what value we can add, and what problems we can solve for our customers, just in different fields, not just like because I do mostly for pool contractors, hardscapers. Then I've got friends of mine who owns agencies for law firms,
Ah,
dentists, PI lawyers,
ah,
chiropractors. So like
ah.
different industries, but like we're all of them are doing marketing. So we kind of exchange, hey, what's working for them, what's working for us, and we just kind of like add value to each other. So that's what I was doing last weekend. But how's
It
things with
wasn't
you,
so
man?
it wasn't a vacation then, really.
Not really, maybe a little bit. Mostly in the daytime, it was just working, networking, all that stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. We'll give it about a few more minutes and then we'll get the party started. Let me share my screen. Today's topic is going to be really interesting. This is one of my favorite topics, mostly about answering inbound calls, qualifying leads, booked appointments. We're going to cover some basic stuff, and then we're also going to go dive into some advanced strategies when you have 2 to 3 office managers or you have like 2 to 3 SDRs. How do you manage those people? How do you measure their performance? So it's going to be really important just so that you understand the basics. And also from the basic, you guys can innovate and take it. And once you have hired 2 or 3 or even 4 more people, you can always set up certain KPIs, which is key performance indicators. That way you guys are able to measure their performance. So I know there's a few more people joining our call. John, is there any big frictions, biggest win you've had this week? Any good news?
Nothing in my area. The only friction I got is just the you guys are scheduling outside of my zone, and it's like an hour and a half, and I talked to Eli about
Eli,
that, and
okay.
we reduced down the actual
Radius.
radius a little bit,
Okay.
and let's see what happens with that. So,
Okay,
but
perfect.
other
I'll
than
make sure
that,
that gets taken care of. I do know with Facebook, they did make a recent update. Now, what happens with that recent update is we used to target everybody living in a certain radius. Now, Facebook does not let us target only people living in a radius. We have to target people that are living, but also visited that area, that 30 mile. Now, people travel all the time, right? So we're getting a lot of outer area leads, but as a workaround, what we're going to start doing is, and that's something I talked to our media buyers, our Facebook ads team, is we're going to try to qualify them based on their county or their zip code. Like if they're within that certain county that you guys service, we're going to let them into your CRM. If not, we're going to go ahead and disqualify the lead. That's coming down the pipeline. But just so you guys are aware, it's not just you, John, it's literally all across, not even just us, our company, across the Facebook. Everybody is dealing with the same issue. So we're working on a solution so that way we can continue to provide leads that are within your area.
yeah, because it might be in that circle, but
Yep.
to get there, it's 77 miles. It's an hour and
Totally get it.
25 minutes, and then when there's traffic, I'd be spending 4 or 5 hours a day traveling or
Yep.
whoever, and we're not prepared to do those areas. But I text Eli. What
Perfect.
would be my best thing to do to cancel that appointment?
I would say just call them and let
I'll
them
call
know
the
like, hey, this is something that's out of our area. More than if you have a referral, obviously recommend them another contractor that you might know maybe in their area, just so that you guys can end it on a good note. But I would just go ahead and let them know like, hey,
Okay.
this is out of our area, and we actually scheduled by mistake. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. All right. Dan, is this your first time joining our call?
Yeah, because I don't even have an ad up and running yet, so they're working on it, I guess.
Awesome. No worries at all. Welcome aboard. Super excited to have you on. Kind of want to introduce, if you can introduce yourself, what type of contractor are you, and what's the biggest challenge you're facing in your company, and how can we best serve you?
So my name is Dan. I'm the owner of Chapin Landscapes. We are in the Cleveland, Ohio area on the east side suburbs, pretty much the higher end area on that side of the city. And we do landscape construction, patios, walkways, retaining walls, waterfalls, landscape lighting, lawn care, fertilizing, a little bit of everything with landscape. Don't really dabble with pools a whole lot, but I do have a couple of good friends that have pretty good sized landscape companies, and they are definitely able to install pools. So if one came our way, we could definitely use them as a subcontractor to do that. That would not be really a problem. I'm just trying not to go into that business yet, something in the next few years probably, but
awesome.
Not directly targeting that. And basically just looking to pick up, I guess, some more just reliable higher end clients, not multi-million-dollar clients, but someone whose maybe average home is worth 750,000, something like that. Just so they're more qualified, so we don't have to rely on just what we do. And that would definitely just make it a little bit easier on me, because then the job would hopefully just sell a little slightly higher percentage. That's all.
Awesome. I love that. Dan, do you have a revenue goal for this year?
1.2 million.
Awesome.
Last year we were at 900,000. So
it's
a pretty big increase, but we also increased our staff a decent amount this year. So
gotcha. So you definitely added a little bit of overhead.
I think we're going to make it happen.
I love that. Awesome. Well, we usually do our calls every Friday at 12 p.m. So definitely feel free to join, even if your camp is not ready. I'm sure should be ready within the next few days. But these calls we do kind of network. Any problems other than even marketing that you guys have, feel free to bring them on these calls, so that way other people can learn and get value out of that. And maybe you never know, anybody else can solve those problems for you on the call as well.
Hey, I just got to win. Man.
Let's go.
I got a customer that came here from you, and they signed, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. That's
amazing,
man. That's amazing. That's a huge win. Congrats.
Yeah,
that's how you want to end a Friday, with the win.
That's
awesome. I love that.
Thank you, man.
All right. Abby, is this your first time, Abby? Oh, Abby's with Raphael, I believe, right? You guys.
Hey, sorry. Yeah. This is not my first time. I come every once in a while, like when I can. Currently driving at the moment, but
okay.
No,
Perfect.
I really enjoy these posts, so I'm gonna keep coming on them every week.
I love that. This is going to be an awesome call for you, Abby, as well. We're going to talk a lot about like inbound calls, qualifying leads, and maybe some of the advanced strategies that some of our internal teams use to measure our team's performance. So maybe you guys can implement this in your business. And obviously, this is going to be uploaded in our course area, so you guys can literally take the template and implement it in your business as well. Raphael, how's it going, man?
Everything is going really well, man. Just
awesome.
real busy, staying busy. Abby has a bunch of wins this week. She sold a bunch of new business, and we're doing great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Let's see who else we have. We've got Ryan. We also have Michael. Ryan, did you want to chime in? Any wins for the week? Anything that we can help you with?
Hey, we're wrapping up another job today.
You got another job?
Well, we're wrapping one up.
Oh, wrapping one up. Amazing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Good to wrap one up before the weekend. Happy customer.
Perfect. Who else we got here? Michael. I think, Michael, you might want to connect your audio. I don't think we can hear you. All right, while Michael joins, we will go ahead and get started. It's about 12:10. All right, guys, today's call, we're going to talk about inbound calls that you guys get through your website, through Google, Yelp, any other marketing services that you guys are using, or even just in general, organic inbound calls that you guys get, how to answer those calls, how to make sure that you're able to capture the prospect's info in a most efficient way and have a qualifying conversation and ultimately book that appointment for your sales team, or if you're doing that sales yourself. We're going to talk about that. We're going to cover some basic stuff in the start. So some of the stuff that you're like, hey, I'm already doing this. Why am I listening to this? But there's a lot of advanced strategies that I'm going to talk about towards the end of the call on how to audit calls, how to audit your staff's calls, and what certain KPIs that you should be looking for when you're measuring your staff's calls. So that's all what we're going to cover in today's meeting. So let's go ahead and kick it off. So the main goal of this presentation today is so that way you guys can ensure a consistent, professional, and effective communication with your leads. Every single lead that you come in, they need to be greeted in a similar way. They need to be professional, providing an excellent customer service, and obviously generating interest in your services. Because at the end of the day, they called you for a reason. They're looking for someone to do a job, a project. And the goal of that call is that you guys need to present some type of energy on that call where the prospect feel heard. They feel like this is the person I want to go with. But not only that, at the same time, staying professional. Now, when you are answering calls, and I've noticed this a lot because we get a lot of inbound calls and a lot of our clients answer. They might answer on a job site. There's literally like a huge ass excavators, loud, clients cannot hear, and you cannot have a good conversation with the customer in that type of environment. So you want to make sure you're in a quiet area where you can actively listen to the customer or answer their questions. If you're at a job site, make sure you go to a truck. Go inside your truck and have that conversation. Always keep a pen and a paper in your truck. If you don't have it, you have your iPhone or Android, make sure you literally just take notes when you're talking to a customer. That's really, really important. I've seen so many times people have a conversation with a potential prospect, but they never wrote down their name, email, phone number. How crazy is that? Like, you just got a lead, you don't even know their name, you don't know their number, you don't know their email. What are you gonna like email them, right? So it's really, really important that you write these things down when you're on a phone with a potential customer. Now, first things first, when you're answering the phone, you want to make sure you answer that call in a timely manner. I get it, everybody's busy here, right? Everybody's got a lot of work. The guys that working on projects. Somebody pulls you in from a different department. We're all busy. But at the end of the day, we're all serving for our customers. And if you can't answer their phone on time, it defeats the entire purpose. You're doing marketing campaigns. If you can't answer inbound calls, delegate it to somebody else who can, because you're paying dollars for these calls. It's really important that you answer every single call within a timely manner, right? So quick response literally shows professionalism and respect for the caller's time. Somebody calls, you don't answer, voicemail is full. What's going to happen next? They're going to call the next contractor and he might answer on time and take that job. So it's really, really important that you guys answer the phone on time. That shows professionalism. When you start a conversation, greet them with enthusiasm and with professionalism. Thank you for calling XYZ company. This is blah, blah, blah. How may I assist you today? Again, I'm saying that we need to greet it in a way because I've heard some calls that are just like, hello, how can I help you? Or, hey, who's this? Like, dude, this is a customer calling you. You got to greet them professionally with some energy. Bring some energy to the call because the energy is contagious and they might feel that energy in you that I don't even know if this guy's professional. I don't know where he's located, the way he's answering the phone or she's answering the phone. So you want to make sure you sound professional. So literally copy this script, give it to your office manager or your appointment setter. And this is how you should be greeting every single call that comes in. Thank you for calling XYZ company. This is Syed. How may I assist you today? Now, the first goal when you answer the phone is build rapport. A total stranger just try to contact you. And the first thing you want to do is you want to have a positive, energetic tone to convey excitement that you really, really appreciate their call. to your company. Because think about how many other companies that person has probably called, but you want to show excitement that you're really excited and you appreciate their time that they called you and your company. Politely ask their name. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to ask their name. How are you going to talk to a person without knowing their name? Ask them their first name. Repeat their name 2 to 3 times. So that is a lot more personalized conversation. So ask their name, and throughout the conversation, build a personal connection. Now, the goal here is build rapport, listen actively to their needs, and then, understand, see if this is a project that you guys want to take on or not. So number 1, answer the phone on time. Number 2, greet them professionally. Number 3, build rapport. And then we're going to talk about number 4, which is the actual qualifying conversation. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have some, you guys are getting inbound calls, you guys are getting leads, right? So you want to see if this is a project you guys can take on, if the customer is actually serious, if he's a tire kicker, if he's just shopping around. That's all you want to know before you commit to an on-site visit, right? The questions that you guys already know, like I said, can you tell me a little bit about your project? Simple standard question that you guys are going to ask. Tell me about the timeline of this project. What is the budget range? Have you worked with other contractors? Simple qualifying questions. These are the questions that you want to ask. And remember, these are all open-ended questions. So guess what? I'm not asking them yes or no questions. I want the customer to talk. The more they talk on the phone, the chances of them letting you know about their project goes a lot deeper. They're going to give you a little bit of history. They're going to know why they want to do a project now. So you're in sales, right? Like if you're selling, you're going to have a lot more ammo for later. When you do an on-site visit, you can kind of tell them like, hey, this is why you wanted this project. Now I'm the perfect guy to deliver it on time. So you want to gauge interest if this is up your alley, because I know most of the projects were like, I don't think if I can do this. I usually do pools. I don't do hardscapes. So I'm not gonna take this on, or I do hardscapes. I don't do pools, or it might be something that you don't really like doing. Whatever it is, you want to gauge interest, and then potentially try to convert that into an appointment. Now, the goal here is to book that appointment as early as possible. Now, some of our clients I've seen, like they're on the phone with a client's telling them like, hey, I'm interested. I've already got my financing taken care of. I have a property survey. I have everything. I just need someone to give me an estimate. I'm going to finalize everything. All right. The earliest I've got is like 2 weeks later. That's not going to happen. Come on. Like you got to book that as fast as possible so you can go ahead and go to their house. You can talk to them, right? Like someone called you, it's a hot lead. They already have financing secured. So your goal is to make sure you book that appointment as early as possible. So what you can do is offer them an appointment within 24 to 48 hours. I can definitely stop by and take a look at your backyard. Would tomorrow at this time or Thursday at this time work better for you? See, you're not having the prospect think about a time that they're available. You're literally just giving them 2 time frames that you're available on and let them commit to those time frames, right? It makes their job a lot easier. They don't have to think a lot about, oh, I got to think about it. Let me talk to my husband. Let me talk to my wife, see what time we can make it happen. You give them 2 slots and that's it. You let them know like, hey, which one of these work for you? If they're like, no, actually, this might work better. Well, there you go. You got another response back, but you want to be able to have them commit to a time frame for an on-site appointment. Now, if your sales process does involve sending some material, whether it's brochure, whether it's like an email about like some company info about what type of projects that you guys do, make sure at the end of the call that you commit to sending that. Like, hey, I'll be sending you over some info that might be helpful for your project, as well as you can learn a little bit about our company. Now, at this stage, you got the appointment and you want to make sure you actually send them the info. Again, I've seen this happen a lot. Like people would book an appointment, but they won't send anything, not even a confirmation message that, hey, your appointment has been booked. Then they wonder why when I showed up to a customer's house, they were not available. They were not even at the house because you never actually send them a confirmation email. This all shows professionalism, your communication, and you want to make sure you're able to have a proper follow-up with your customer. Okay, so you get their email, you get their phone number, you let them know like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put you in our system. And I'm going to go ahead and send you a confirmation text or email. Again, this process is if you're not using our appointment setting service, you want to use your office manager, or if you're calling these leads yourself, this is really, really important. And this all impacts your close rate. If you don't follow this process, your close rate will get impacted. You're not going to be able to track the leads in a centralized CRM or a database. And then if you want to talk to these leads later, you have no knowledge. What is their name, email, phone number? So it's really important that you capture that on the call. So towards the end of the call, you're going to check if they have any other questions. You're going to thank them for their time for the calling your company, and you're going to reassure them for any assistance, wish them a great day, and then immediately send them that email that you promised. That shows, again, professionalism, that you said what you did, right? It goes a long way. Like, hey, man, I called him. I thought he probably forgot about sending that email. He actually, 5 minutes later, he sent me an email about the promised marketing material or the company info. Add that lead into your CRM or a lead tracking tool. If you're tracking leads in an Excel sheet, which you shouldn't be, you should have a CRM, add that lead in that CRM, their name, their email, their phone number, or any other info that you got on the call, their budget, timeline, address, everything. You want to know exactly what happened on that call. So when you review that lead later, you have the info right there, right then. Think about you're getting these calls at scale. Think about when you're getting about 10 or 15 calls in a day. How are you going to manage all of this, right? Like, so you want to be able to have a system in place where you can efficiently manage every single lead. And even if you're assigning these leads to your sales rep, they know exactly what happened with each lead. They have the notes, they know the customer's name, email, phone number. They have a recording of the call that happened with the appointment setter or the person who took that call. So it's really important. Your post-call action should be putting the leads info in a CRM and then send them a marketing material as soon as possible. Is everybody with me? Any questions so far? We're good? All right. Next one. This is the a little bit of advanced strategy. I don't know if any of you guys are already doing it. If you are, salute to you guys. You guys are doing an awesome job. If you're not, how many of you guys are actually auditing the calls that your office manager or your appointment setter is taking those calls? Anybody, any inbound calls that you guys get? Even if you're taking your own call, have you ever audited your own call, just a call recording? Kind of listen to your own call. How do you sound like? Did you build rapport? Did you actually did what you're supposed to on that call? How many of you guys are actually doing this? No? Nobody? Abby, Rafael, do you guys have any system like that?
No, we don't record the calls.
Okay.
Normally what
okay.
I do is when the leads come in, I put them on our sales leads chat, and each person makes a call, but our office admin makes the calls and sets appointments up. If she's not able to do it, then Abby or myself will call and set it up.
Awesome.
One thing I probably should do is after Rosa, I probably should do this, is after Rosa calls them and like confirms the appointment, I should probably take the time to call myself and thank them for making the appointment, kind of start the personalization there. So it's something, yeah, because usually I'm big on notes taking like during my calls, but it's something never recording. But I probably should do like a follow-up call once Rosa's reached out, just so they know, both of us, before the meeting.
100%. And I love that. Here's a reason why I encourage you guys to actually record the calls. That way, I know you're not going to take, as an owner, as a CEO of the company, you're not going to take every single call. There's going to be a time where you're going to have office managers, office assistants, appointment setters, your sales development representative. You want to be able to train them. You want to be able to tell them like, hey, how can you provide them feedback on this call? Like, hey, maybe you should have done this on this call, just so that they can improve themselves. At scale, this is going to become an issue. Sometimes, customer would call you, you never recorded the call. Now they're talking to the sales rep. Now the sales rep's like, to the customers like, hey, this is what I talked to the appointment setter. Did they not tell you this? Now you have no evidence. You're only relying on their notes. You can actually go to the call recording and see what was the actual conversation. So to ensure that you're improving with each phone interaction, it's really important that you review your or your appointment setters calls, call recordings. Now, this will give you an opportunity to kind of measure your strengths, like, hey, what am I really good at? What is my appointment setter really good at? And what areas can we improve on as a company? Now, what you do is set aside a time. If you have an operations manager, this is their task. Literally, they set aside 15-20 minutes in a week. All they do is audit calls. You don't have to audit all 100 or 50 calls. Literally take a piece of 55 calls, 10 calls, 15 calls, literally audit them. All you're doing is you're listening to those call recordings and see what the customer interaction was. How did the customer feel when talking to your company? And you're taking notes. You're taking detailed notes, and you're looking for where your appointment setter or yourself builds strong rapport. You ask them really, really effective questions that excited the customer. They got more energized by talking to you. They're like, hey, man, this is the company I want to talk to. Because guess what? That's working for the customer. Now you're going to give that same feedback to other appointment setters or the office manager. Like, hey, I love that you asked this question. Make sure you ask this question every time to the lead, because that's what sparks the interest, right? So you're taking those notes. And then guess what? Next thing you're doing is you're providing constructive criticism. Maybe you should have asked this question. Maybe this is how you should have graded that person. Always create a feedback loop with your team. This will help you constantly improve on a weekly basis. So think about you do it on a weekly basis. After a month, you're going to listen to the same call two months ago, and you're going to be like, wow, why did I even say that? Because you're constantly improving. And what you're going to do is, based on that feedback, you're going to improve your next call. You're going to improve your script if you have it. You're going to constantly improve it. And you can encourage your team to do that. Now, the goal here is we don't want it to be a perfect 10-on-10 call, but at least improving from your last call, constantly improving. So schedule regular audits on a weekly basis. Make sure you assign this to your operations manager or yourself, 15-20 minutes, literally. And then, audit every single call. The goal is to refine your communication skills. How do you build relationship with customers, qualify leads, and, at the end of the day, secure appointments. Now, check this out.
I have a question real quick. So how would you recommend doing this? Through recording, making the calls through the company phone?
Yeah, basically, if you have a CRM, like our CRM, we have call recordings. If you have a CRM that you're using, you should enable call recordings in there. That way you can listen to those recordings.
But if Abby's calling through her cell phone, how does that work? Or if I'm calling from my cell phone?
That would get tough then, Rafael, since on the phone, it's challenging to see if a call got recorded or not. Right. So maybe what you can do is you can have a call forwarding number to Abby, but put a call tracking number for HubSpot. I know you use HubSpot, right?
No.
What CRM do you use, Rafael?
The one I use for the leads, we put them into Builder's Trend.
Builder Trend. Do they offer a phone number like inside Builder Trend, like a call tracking number?
I'm gonna look into that. I have to find out.
Okay. What you can do is you can buy that number. It's literally $1, and then put the call forwarding number to Abby's phone number. So what's going to happen is every call that comes in goes to Abby's phone. She answers it from her cell phone, but the call actually gets recorded in HubSpot or Builder Trend. So you can listen to the calls in Builder Trend later.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. That was a great question. Now, here's a quality assurance scorecard for phone interactions. Okay, so now this is something you guys are doing at scale. I do not recommend do this if you're literally only one answering the phones, or if you have one person. If you have 2 to 3 people, or even if you have an office manager taking these calls, this is how you can audit and improve their performance. You can create a scorecard for them. Like, hey, let's say, for example, hey, John, you're taking this many calls in a day. I'm going to create a scorecard for you, and I'm going to evaluate your performance based on this scorecard. At the end of the month, I'm going to give you a bonus if you hit this number of KPIs within this 30-day time frame. What you're doing is you're incentivizing them based on their performance, not just a base salary. This will help you guys bring in A players, because A players love performance-based incentive. They're hungry to grow in a company. And what's going to happen is They're going to constantly improve their calls. And guess what? This will help your lead to appointment conversion rate as well, because it all depends on the quality of your call. If the quality of your call is really, really good, customer will turn into an appointment. So here we go. Here's a template that you guys can use to improve your call recordings or your calls at the first time. So first thing you're going to score your office manager or your appointment setter is on: did the representative introduce themselves and the company? Was the greeting warm and friendly? Yes. All right. Give them a 10 score out of that. Did the representative confirm they were speaking to the correct person? You literally give them, they answer all these 3 questions. Yes. We give them a score. Did they build rapport? Did they engage in small talks, make a personal connection? Did they respond appropriately to the customer's mood? Did they show empathy and understanding? If they did, give them a score. Did they ask qualifying questions? So it can be, did the representative ask open-ended questions to understand customers' need? Did they confirm and clarify customers' responses? Did they guide the conversation towards identifying customers' problem? If they did, give them a score. Again, excitement and enthusiasm. Was the representative tone upbeat, energetic? Was he not sounded pissed off, low on energy, build no rapport? Guess what? That's where you're going to penalize them on. But this is what you're going to like incentivize them on. Like, hey, you did this. Awesome. I'm going to give you a score. Capturing customers' detail. Did they actually get phone number, email, all the relevant details, and were they accurate? Give them a score. If they didn't, guess what? You never captured that lead. And think about, if you get it on your phone, how are you going to listen to the call recording? Because you never recorded it. You can never go back to either what email I should be sending the marketing material to. So it's really important to capture that. Did the representative offer a follow-up call or a meeting? Because you always want to follow up if there's something that they're waiting on. Hey, let me go ahead and schedule something, or even if it's an appointment, you guys want to schedule an appointment. Specific time frame for the follow-up. Did they reassure the customer that they'll receive a marketing material? Again, it comes down to, did you commit to what you told the customer? These little things all add up and make you look more professional, better communication, and provide a world-class customer experience. And at the end, you're going to score your appointment setter on the closing the call. Did they thank the customer? Did they confirm next steps and reassure that their needs would be met? And did they end the call on a positive note? So what you're going to do is you're literally going to score that person out of 10, out of 70. Out of 70, what did they get? 50, 65, 40? So now you know exactly what your problems are. Okay, so this score can help pinpoint areas of strength and those areas that require improvement. Literally, you're going to know like, hey, I think my appointment setter is really bad at qualifying people. So this is the area I'm going to improve them on. I think they don't have energy on the call. So I need to help them identify how to get more energy on the call. So you're standardizing your call process. How do you answer and greet the customer? You're standardizing that. Now think about, if you do 15 or 20 calls, like the same format, you're going to have a pattern on like, hey, this person's really good at this. This person's not good at this. So this is what I need to focus on. So with that feedback loop constantly every single month, you're going to improve your calls and your lead to appointment ratio will go up. So pro tip, you just have to create a KPI system for your appointment setters and incentivize them based on this scorecard. So the score they get out of here, they get a monthly bonus. And if they do not hit that minimum score that you said, they're not going to get that bonus. So you're just like kind of helping you achieve the desired result that you want, which is, I want better customer service. I want higher quality phone calls. And if they don't meet that criteria, they don't get that bonus. That's all you're doing for this. Now, there are some of the common mistakes that I've seen contractors make when they are talking on the phone. So first of all, they don't even answer on the first call or from an unknown number. How crazy is that? Like, dude, you're going to get unknown calls all the time, but you don't answer. So it's really important that you guys answer on the first call. If you can, at least have your voicemail not full, so people can leave a message and you can call them back later. Happens all the time. Voicemail is full. Customer cannot leave a voicemail. And then guess what? You can never call them back. Talking to a customer with a loud ass excavator in the background. So go in a quiet area and talk to the customer. talking to the customer without introducing themselves or the company. The customer has to ask you, hey, what company is this? Hey, who am I speaking with? You just failed, dude. Like, come on, you got to introduce yourself and your company and then talk. You can't be like that. Not asking customer, how did they hear about your company? This is a really important question to ask to know, where are your leads coming from? Is it your website? You'll be surprised to hear like where people are coming from. Hey, I saw your comment on this Facebook group that you posted. That's why I looked you up on your website and I'm calling you. Well, guess what? Now you need to make more posts on that Facebook group because that's where you're getting your leads from. You see what I'm doing? You're creating a feedback loop with your marketing and seeing, where am I getting most leads from? Not asking open-ended question. So you want a pool, right? Or you want a job, right? So you got to ask open-ended questions. Again, not building rapport, literally just asking them straight up questions. And then at the end, be like, yeah, if you're interested, you can just call us back later and we'll be happy to assist you. So not getting customers' phone number to track the lead, and not sending any follow-up email or text messages. That's another one I've seen. Like, hey, I'm going to send you some marketing material, and you never do. Okay, customers like, dude, this is not professional. I just talked to him. He was going to send me something. He never did. So that just looks bad on your end as a company. And then guess what? They'll go end up putting a review on, because I know some customers are like that. They'll just, oh, I talked to this guy. This was so rude. He never sent me anything. 1-star review, like for even a phone call. People do that. But on your end, just standardize the entire process so this never, ever happens on your company. And this will help you in the long run, because now you are going to sound way more professional than the other companies. This process literally are a lot of companies that are doing 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. This is the process that they have implemented in their business, because they don't have one office manager, they have 2 or 3 because of the amount of volume they're getting. So I wanted to show you guys and share with you, see if there's any way if you guys can improve your processes as well. If you're already doing this, that's amazing. But this is another way, another level that you guys can take your call quality to, you know, make yourself better in the marketplace. So that's all I've got, guys. I'm going to open the floor. If you guys have any questions, I can answer for you. All right, I see, I think Dan has a question. Is there an app or a program to record calls? I don't want to record it on my phone because it takes too much storage. You're right. You shouldn't be recording on your phone, Dan. There should be an app where you should be recording. Any CRM that you guys use, whether it's HubSpot, Go High Level, which is our CRM, Buildertrend, or any other CRM that you guys use, should have a call tracking number and also an option to record every single call. That's where you guys should be recording all those calls. I know you want to take all those calls on your phone, which is totally fine. All you can do is add that call forwarding number. So anytime client calls, they call to that call tracking number, but that tracking number forwards that call to your phone number. So the calls are getting recorded in the CRM, but you're still taking calls from your phone. That's what's going to happen. So great question, Dan. I would recommend just use a CRM and use a call tracking number, whether it's on your website, whether it's on your Facebook, just use a call tracking number so you can track all your calls coming in. What else? Anybody else? Wow, quiet today. Everybody's quiet. I must have done a terrible job at explaining, or I must have done an amazing job at explaining today. I can't tell.
No, I liked everything you touched base on. I think it also just has to do with just like the comfortability that like maybe some of our office administrators even have answering phones, or even, you know, feeling confident that they can answer the questions that they're asking. So that's one thing that I'm going to work on with my, you know, office administrator who usually takes our calls, is, you know, just making sure that, you know, I run through, I'm probably going to share this recording with her. You know, run through those questions, kind of standardize it. That way, you know, she has something to follow and she's, you know, comfortable with, you know, being able to explain everything that's going on or answer questions. But yeah, that's kind of one thing that I'm going to start working on. I'm comfortable taking phone calls, so it's not an issue that I have, but I know that somebody in my office may, and that's something that I do want to pay attention to and kind of strengthen as we go on.
Yeah, no, I love that answer, Abby. And you can literally just use this framework and create your own SOP on how to answer phone calls. That's what it's called. Any new hire you bring on, you give them that SOP, and then maybe share like 3 or 4 of your best call recordings in there. Hey, these are my best calls and these are my worst calls that I've had. Now they can listen to those calls. They can see, oh, wow, this is what I need to be doing. And this is what I should not be doing on the call. They have all the questions to ask the customer. Once you standardize this, you don't have to train the new hire every single time. They just go through that training material and they're ready to rock and roll within 7 to 10 days. It makes your job a lot easier, and you're not spending countless hours training, going over the same exact material again and again. So that's all. Awesome. Anybody else? No? You guys want to wrap it up?
I mean, I could say that I do like half of the things that are in here, and
Man, that's amazing.
I need to qualify, send that qualifying email at the end, with some brochures. That definitely looks like it's that'll help you win some more, definitely more, at least qualify the company a little bit and win the, get more wins on the board,
Yeah, no, 100%. Whether it's a link to your website, create an email template saying, hey, this is our website. This is a brochure that has a picture of you, your company, your team members, types of projects you've done in the past, frequently asked questions by different customers. So what you're doing is you're just like having them consume more of your content and kind of like pre-handling all the objections that might come up later in the sales process.
This where you have this on, I can get this off of I can get this is off of your CRM, correct? I can get
Correct.
that through the
this will be uploaded in the membership area. You can just
Yeah.
go to Contractor Growth University and look at the latest call recording or weekly coaching call, and then just pull it off from there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have I got to get me a new office manager to kind of get into answering the phones again. And I mean, we answer the phones, but probably should do a better job in answering and communicating to the customer. And getting the proper information. So
100%. And this will be really helpful when you do hire. Just have them listen to this call recordings. That way you can get it like a basic framework on what the expectations are for that specific role.
Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool, guys. Great call. I love the energy on the call today. We're gonna rock and roll. And next Friday, 12 p.m. We're gonna restart with another topic and talk about something different. I'll come up with something. For those of you on the call, if you have not registered for the A2P registration, make sure you do so. It's really, really important and mandatory. It's a new SMS law that got introduced by, I don't know who, but basically any phone numbers needs to be registered with your company name. Otherwise, the phone number will be marked as spam, and that is not good because the leads are not going to answer then. So it's really important that we get those registered for you guys as soon as possible. You should have seen an email or a text message from either Zippe or Stephanie to complete a form. It should take about 2 minutes to fill that out. And I would really appreciate if you guys can do that and do that as fast as possible. So thanks again. And you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.